Congratulations on an amazing season. I think the show is one big slay. Tan, how does it feel to be back on the runway? But Gigi, what was it like stepping into the universe of Next in Fashion?
Well, I obviously am a huge fan and lover of Tan Fran, so I just had the best time stepping onto this set with him and being able to do it, um, obviously with someone who I admire and respect so much in his job, but also who is one of my great friends, was just a really fun experience, and I learned a lot from Tan, and I think it shows.
And what's it like stepping onto a runway with Gigi Hadid? Imagine if I was asking you that question. Your feelings if you're like, oh, one day I'm going to step onto a runway with Gigi. Those feelings are my
Oh
feelings.
my God, South Asian to South Asian, definitely the same feeling of wonder, amazement, but definitely a little bit of pressure as well. One thing I loved about the entire season, I literally watched all 10 episodes on 1.5 speed last night. I was like, consume it all. I think the queer storytelling and people opening up and like the inclusion, diversity, like from all spectrums. But the show is very LGBTQ plus. And how was it like hearing all these different queer stories of identity and self-expression coming out? How was it to absorb all of that?
I mean, it was, you know, these people are just so inspiring, like you said, not only from their creative ability, but also just the the bravery in being
Yeah.
able to, want to represent their community through this show and through their experience on the show. Is an honor to be a part of and to watch and to see them really take ownership of that, I think, through the season and become more confident in themselves and in their ability to represent the people that they're on the show to inspire is really such a joy to
Yeah.
watch.
I only ever want to be involved in inclusive, diverse programming. Everything that I do in entertainment is all about that. And it's
Mm.
not a gimmick. It's not something that we think, oh, well, that'll help the audience, the ratings, whatever. I am a product of this. Somebody gave me a chance, and I'm wildly intersectional, and so I see the importance of that and that impact on the world. When you see yourself represented in entertainment, it really does make an impact. So I love that we get to be a part of a show that is so diverse.
Definitely. I think also what was so wonderful to see is like it's not a camera panning in and being like, tell us your sob story. Like it just comes through the fashion, it comes through the development of the creativity, and you have such heartfelt stories. And with that, when you build a lovely connection, what is it like saying goodbye to some of these lovely faces? Like, what is that process like?
It's so hard.
I mean, I still like, you tell, because you watched the show obviously from a new perspective, but I think even if I wasn't the one standing in that room being the judge, like even when I watched the show at home on my couch this week, I cried again, and then I watched that episode again, and I cried again,
Yeah.
like because like what once it's for me because I'm emotionally attached to these people, but then like I think really when you sit and watch it again, it was like I was watching it just like a viewer at home, and I think that everyone that watches will with us grow to love these people, and um we're all in the creative industry. Like,
Yeah.
look, if I was showing Tan a collection at Guest in Residence, my brand, and he wanted to give me a critique, or, if I was in this challenge, send me home,
Yeah.
he doesn't love me less. And I think that that shows on, in this season, that when we're sending people home, it's not because we don't believe in them as creatives. It's because in this specific challenge for this competition, they didn't cut it.
Yeah.
But we love them so much.
It's so difficult. You will see there's so much emotion in the show.
Mm.
Oh, Gigi cries so often on the show.
I mean, I was there. I was in the room. Like
I
my
just don't
tears
have the
were.
tear ducts that she has, but it's so emotional. You become invested.
But there was one episode where Tam was like,
Oh, I
look,
broke
I
down.
can get really emotional and feel sad, but like I rarely cry. 5 minutes later is
minutes
the
later.
episode where he
Mm.
like could
Breaks down.
not even speak.
She had to do my line. Yeah, she had to fully
Which is
do
usually
my
the
line.
other way
Yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's heartfelt. It's beautiful.
It is. It's gut wrenching, but that's like the process of creativity and fashion. Like there's ups and downs. But speaking about the judges, like it is an elite level this season. Like, what were some of the judges that stood out for you, and who gave what was needed to be given?
So many. Isabel Moran.
I thought she was great as
Isabel
well.
Moran was major and just so kind, and her feedback was so important. Like
And
she had
yeah,
really good,
thoughtful.
yeah, really good critiques that could actually help them long term.
Yeah.
Donatella,
Yeah.
Obbs,
I thought
Uh,
Olivier was extremely encouraging.
yeah,
And I remember I don't think it made it onto the season, but even afterwards, like he went up to the whole group and just reiterated like whoever goes home tonight, like this
Yeah.
does not mean it's the end for you. Like I've been told no a million times.
yeah,
And that's what I'm really proud of in this show is like also besides putting these creatives in front of these icons, but then also putting these icons in front of the world in this new
yeah,
way that really shows them as human beings and people that have, really felt similarly to these designers at one point in their life and have a lot of understanding for how vulnerable it is to put out your work on this stage.
yeah.
And so I think that it was just like nice to watch.
It was beautiful. We had so many incredible guest judges, and even Gabriella Creeper Johnson,
Oh yeah.
who guested on 3 episodes. I can't even imagine what it must feel like as a designer thinking, if this woman likes my work, she could put my product in Vogue. Like
Yeah.
that's bananas to me.
Yeah.
Totally. And on a final note, like a big philosophical question, quite spiritual, quite profound. What is next in fashion?
Do you want to take it?
Sure.
Go. It's up to you. Don't put you on the spot.
To me, next in fashion is coming to acceptance that the creatives that are going to lead the fashion houses for generations to come are people whose interests and inspirations are not just fashion or being sexy or like these very like
One note.
like one note things. I think that being a creative director comes from people who have a lot of complexity, a lot of interests, a lot of hobbies, and that's what's going to make the best leaders to lead these fashion houses, because then they get sewers, they get all these things. And I think that what we tried to do was find people whose style and creative minds and uniqueness can do that.
Yeah, agreed. And we want to make it really clear, and I hope we made it clear throughout the show, we're not looking for the next in sewing. Like, we're not looking for an incredible
They
seamstress.
had 8 hours to make these things. Like, we're not expecting a perfectly made garment.
Yeah.
We know they can do that. That's, what got them on the show in the first place.
And creative directors don't often, they're not often the ones who are
atelier.
rarely are the ones that are making the product. We want somebody with vision. For me, what's next in fashion is a visionary.
Well, that's a lovely place to end it. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for your
Thanks, Kate.
contributions
We
to the
love your
queer
time.
community.
Thank you for
Thanks.
Oh, we
watching.
love you.